Where are the low value men? Like, what are all the low value men up to during these trying times? Because the high value men, I know they're around. They won't shut the fuck up. Low value men, I have not heard a word out of. I'm starting to think I'm on their side. I think I want one of those. I want a low value man. They don't make podcasts. I haven't seen one low value man make a podcast. Do they not know how to use microphones? Maybe that's a good thing. That's hot. All right, I've never seen a man use a microphone for good.
Until now, everybody buckle up. It's low value mail time with your host, Danny Porkchop. Merry Christmas, everybody. And more importantly, Christmas is over, but today is the second day of Kwanzaa. So happy Kwanzaa. I don't know the proper Kwanzaa salutations, but welcome back, everybody, to an all-new episode of Low Value Mail on this December 27th, 2022, the last show of 2022, last show of the year, and I am excited for this one. Sorry, I was a minute late. I'm not going to lie. I spaced out a little bit. I was reading an article about something that I'm going to be talking about shortly. I was reading it, and I just was a bit of a space cadet there. And, I put it on this thing, and then, hold on a second. Let me turn off this spam bot thing or whatever. I'm trying to figure out this thing, but I don't know how to. I added this Nightbot thing that can just kind of, but then it's starting to cause problems in the chat. I could see it. So I turned it off. Sorry, everybody. You're not allowed to spam caps. I don't know. I'm sorry, everybody. Don't worry about it. It's turned off. It's off. I'll figure it out next time. I didn't really get into the settings. I was trying to set it up, but it's already causing absolute mayhem in the chat. Today's topic is we're ending the year the way we started the year. Can you believe that low value mail has only existed within the parameters of this calendar year? It started, I don't know what the first day was. Somewhere in February, I think. Something like that, end of January. This is episode 45. But we're doing bad advice episode / open lines. And by bad advice, I mean, it's just advice. I don't know. Am I qualified to give advice? Probably not. I should have brought the white square back. I'm looking at the white square right now on my viewfinder too, on my camera, but I don't know how to put it on the screen. But we got it over on the side. So anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm now rambling. As always, please like and subscribe. Leave a rating, review if you're listening to this on your phone or Spotify or Apple Music or any of that shit. It does really help. I'm trying to get, I don't think I'm going to get there, I want to get to 12,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. I'm like 300 away. Maybe we'll get there, but hit the subscribe button if you want to help me for that. My goal for next year, I've already set it out. We'll talk about this, I think, on the first episode of the year about, what kind of, what do you do for goal setting and stuff. But I want to hit 100,000 subscribers by this time in 1 year from now. That or be dead from trying to get 100,000 subscribers. Like maybe I'll do one of those things where I do like those pranks. You ever see that one guy? I'm sure people have seen this. The guy, he pranks and he just like rolls up on like gangbangers. I can't tell what's made up or what's not because so much of it is made up. But he looks like he comes up to these dudes who are like gangbangers and he just like flashes them these fake gang signs and then they like try to kick his ass. And he seems like pretty, like if it's real, then you're like, man, that guy's got huge balls. If it's fake, then what a huge pussy. What a huge pussy. Terrible Trump. So yeah, anyways, please subscribe, all that stuff. As always, we got an after show at 11 p.m. right after this, the last after show of the year. And you can access that by signing up, patreon.com/lowvaluemail, lowvaluemail.locals.com. Hit the join, become a scrote on YouTube. And of course, I'm giving away a scrote membership on YouTube once we hit 100 likes and then every 50 likes after that. So please smash the old like-a-reno button. I'm trying to get to 500 paid subs so that I can start doing a daytime show. Candidly, I've been thinking about this a lot. I spend a lot of my time, whether it's thinking about the Boys Cast, thinking about Low Value Mail, all the other nonsense that I've been doing. But I really, my plan, and I hope this isn't too jarring or whatever, but eventually we're going to get rid of the green screen. My goal is once I hit a certain level of subscribers, I want to get a proper studio that looks exactly like behind me. Like exactly the same, but not a green screen. It's going to be that shitty thing, but in real life. And then the after show, my plan is eventually the after show. Because right now the after show is kind of a more conventional live stream. We just watch videos, we hang out. But it'll be more of like a call-in element, but I need more people. So we'll get there. We will get there. Sign up. Help me out. Also, no bathhouse tomorrow. Fucked up my schedule. I'm going to see Fish at Madison Square Garden. So there will be no more bathhouse until the new year, but you can catch up on all hilarious 10 episodes if you've missed it. And then also streaming on New Year's Day, I am putting together a little best of Low Value Mail. It'll basically just be a bunch of just segments from every one clip from every episode. All 45 episodes. It'll probably be like 6 hours or something. So I'm just going to let it run all day on YouTube. I'll pop into the chat, say what's up. I'll probably be nursing a hangover. Likely. And all right, let's get down to the show. Is the Nightbot settled down? All right, the Nightbot's no longer fucking around. And also, if you joined me on the Female Dating Strategy Christmas Day stream, I'm sorry. I don't know. That was I honestly, before I did that Female Dating Strategy stream, I, in my mind, was like, man, I think I could go 10 hours. And then we went like 3 and change. I think I went to like 3 and a bit. And then I had to break for lunch and I came back. And I don't know if it was the drinking or what, but I could not listen to that shit anymore. We hit the 6 p.m. mark, like the 6 hour mark. And I was like, that's it. It's just, this is too much. I was fading really fast. So, if you join me because you're, for whatever reason, thanks for hanging out on the Female Dating Strategy stream on Christmas Day. I will probably, as long as I am a streamer, I will probably for the, for the future, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, the, upcoming future or whatever. My brain's not working great these days. I'm not going to lie. I need some sort of alpha brain or some shit. But I'll probably be streaming every year on Christmas unless I have something better to do, which I don't because I'm a Jew. Okay, so I got some voicemails. Let's play some voicemails. I don't have a lot planned for tonight. Again, just bad advice, open lines, anything you want to talk about. We're open for. You got anything you want to talk about? Old episodes, anything, just anything. This is because again, this podcast. I don't know if this is a podcast. I guess this is like a broadcast, not a podcast, but it's video, which doesn't make it a podcast. But I very much feel like, and I've talked about some of my friends who are comedians. We talked about this, and they're very much like, this is a podcast where the listener gets to be on the show, kind of calling in. And again, I realize it's just a call-in radio show at the end of the day, and they've been doing this for fucking ever. But it is that, right? We're doing, it's a podcast / that you get to be on. Podcast for the people, by the people. As long as YouTube doesn't fuck us over. Also, shout out to everybody watching on Rumble right now. Love my Rumble friends. You're all great. So we're going to listen to a few voicemails that I have queued up. I'm going to talk about a couple things very briefly, and then we'll just get to it. We'll get down to it. So, voicemail number... Oh, no. Shoot. I had a voicemail queued up, and then it somehow got deleted, but I didn't remember deleting it. So, whoops. Oh, do we have a deleted box? Oh, there is a deleted box. Look at that. Okay. Here we go. Thank goodness for the old deleted voicemail box.
Danny Polishchuk. Hello, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I don't care that much about being on the show. You got me worked up with this female dating strategy. Those girls talking about how if you're white and you meet a guy of another race, you need to like treat them really badly. Oh, sorry, yeah. If you meet a guy of another race and he is racist toward his own race, you as a white woman need to treat him really poorly, blah, blah, blah. And I really appreciate the way that all of you guys seem to just keep really good humor about the hypocrisy. I can't listen to very much of it without getting really incensed, because I just imagine me at like age 11 or 12 trolling the internet, trying to find, women who are talking about how to behave. And I could imagine being taken in by a lot of their points because they are woke, and they're not just advocating for just like extremely casual sex and all that stuff. And I was Christian when I was younger, so I think I could have found these girls and thought like, okay, these are decent people to listen to. And just all the tweens who are tuning into this stuff, deciding that, it's okay to be an asshole to some people under certain circumstances, and in fact it is your responsibility. That makes me so angry. I don't really know what my point was. I'm kind of regretting this voicemail altogether, but it's really interesting the way that you're listening to these girls, and I found you through, obviously, yours and Ryan's skits all those years ago when you got going with that, and I've really enjoyed the boys cast, and I know it's no girls allowed.
Yes,
sorry,
that's what female dating strategy is for. All right, she's drawing it on, as you ladies tend to do. Yeah, I never thought that I would truly be doing a public service by listening to the Female Dating Strategy podcast, but I guess I am, because impressionable young women might listen, and then, you know what, though? I feel like, not to talk about too much about the Female Dating Strategy thing, because this is not that show for that, but, life has a way of, if you have these super set beliefs and your beliefs are not aligned with the rest of the world has a way of making you, come to an understanding of how things truly work. And if you choose not to take those signals or whatnot, then it just it becomes even worse, and it's worse than that. So there was that's one. We have this one, our boy who I believe is in the chat right now, who sounds exactly like Boomhauer.
Hey, Danny, man, I don't know what the fuck them bitches doing, man. They're deep out like anal sex, like it's a bad thing. Like, man, come on, man. If you want to get that ass, you get that ass. Like, bitch point you away from it. That's some evil shit trying to rob a man out of that ass. Like, come on, bitch. It's a really low value female, man, not wanting to go with that ass.
I can't, he left me like 30 voicemails, and he was calling. He's in the chat right now. I think he was. I believe it's Glock him down right here. Actually, Glock him down. You sound exactly like Boomhauer. It's hilarious shit. Okay, and then we have one more.
Hi, it's Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Just calling in because one of your guests was saying that he was trying to buy a pool table and they were too expensive. But from what I hear, is you can go on Facebook Marketplace or you could go on Craigslist. And oftentimes they're just giving them away for free because they want them out of their basement. So
that is good advice. That advice is for our boy William, who might be here or not. Also, if you are not watching The Bathhouse, so if you have not been keeping up on what's going on in The Bathhouse, we have this guy Aaron, who's a mayor of this town in Colorado, who's been calling in. I will say I like the fact that the people who call in on The Bathhouse don't really call in on this show. It's like a different group of people, kind of, which is kind of nice. But so Aaron, he became the mayor in the past couple of weeks of this town. He's a libertarian. And he fired the city manager, who was making like $140,000 a year because she didn't do dick all and was grossly overpaid. And then our boy William, who's trying to get this pool table, called in shortly afterwards and was like, "Hey, I'd like that job." And he's an attorney and he wants to move to Colorado. So one of my dumbass shows might have got some guy a 6-figure job. So that is the kind of high value shit that we're doing over here on Low Value Mail. Good stuff. Hopefully William gets a chance at becoming the city manager of the town, which I can't remember the name of the town, but we will figure it out. Okay, so there wasn't a lot I wanted to talk to this week. I don't know if it's a slow news week. Nothing really piqued my interest too much. I'm just going to briefly talk about this Sam Bankman-Fried stuff because it seems to be back in the news. So Sam Bankman-Fried is officially super fucked. Super fucked. That chick, that mousy chick that stole all my money. So she had been seen in New York a couple weeks ago. Nobody understood why. It turns out she's mousy in the sense that she looks like a rat. If you catch my drift, she does actually look like a rodent. She has the face of a rodent. And then I don't know if this is maybe my anger is coloring my opinion of her, but she does look like a rodent, Carolyn Ellison. And then she ratted on Sam Bankman-Fried. He basically waived his right to extradition, got extradited to the United States. Not sure if he was under the impression that this was a good thing that he was coming back because he was just it would be a cakewalk for him. But he came back to the United States, at which point he was, I guess he wasn't arrested because he had already been detained. There were photos of him. Someone was on his flight. Someone saw him at JFK Airport in the lounge, chilling in the lounge. But so he's pretty fucked because those two people, basically her and this other guy, pled guilty and are cooperating with the government, and they're facing 110 years in prison. They're basically said he knew everything. It was a scam from the beginning. There was never, because he was like, I fucked up, right? His whole thing was trying to say like, oh, whoops, I screwed up everybody. And, up until, I don't know, not even that long ago, he was trying to say like, we could have still, like, I had some little time to get the money together and I could still turn this thing around. And then her and this other guy are like, yeah, it's a complete scam. The whole thing was a scam. We were scamming people. It was essentially, they ratted on him completely. So he's super fucked. He got $250 million bail, which I believe may be the highest amount ever. I think it might be in New York. I don't know if it's elsewhere, but I think it's the highest bail amount ever. It's unsecured. I don't really quite get how this works. If someone who knows how, maybe Joe the lawyer, if you're listening and you know how the bail system works, better than I. But so it's unsecured. His family had to put up their house. There was an unnamed signatory on this who nobody knows, who covered like a large portion. Because I guess you have to put up 10%. And then if you flee, then you're on the hook for like the full $250 million, even though like, where does he have this money from? He says he has $100,000 in the bank and that's it. So I don't quite understand, but he gets to go hang out at his parents' house for however long. He has a $10,000 a week security detail because people want to see him harmed. Fair enough. I'm actually contributing money. I've been contributing money to the harm fund personally. That's where I've been putting my money. We're trying to raise more than $10,000 a week so that we can overpower the people making $10,000 a week and harm him. And it brings up, you know what? It is the bail system in America is weird. I know Canada has some sort of bail system. I don't totally understand how it works. I do believe that there is a warrant for my arrest currently in, I want to say Hollywood, Florida. I'm so petrified of this system in America because I've just watched so many episodes of Cops where, someone's just driving and they get pulled over and they're like, yeah, you have like a warrant from like 12 years ago for an unpaid parking ticket. And then they throw them in jail or something. And I 2 years ago was on the boardwalk in Hollywood, Florida with my girlfriend, and we have a dog, and we brought the dog with us, and I literally crossed the street, and there's this nice boardwalk in Hollywood, Florida, if you know what I'm talking about, and I crossed the street, and the moment I step foot on that boardwalk, cop walks right up to me and goes, you can't have a dog here. I look up, there's literally signs everywhere, no dogs. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. And then we're like, we'll just go over there. And he's like, no, I got to write you a ticket. And then he's writing a ticket, and then I can't remember what he asked, but he asked which one of us which one of us is like, are you both from Florida? Because my girlfriend is. And then I was like, no, I'm Canadian. Actually, I have Canadian ID. He goes, oh, let me write you the ticket. Don't worry about it. He's like, you don't have to pay it. He looked like he was like 25 years old. Like he was like first week on the job. He's like, don't worry about it. Like they're watching me. So I got to write the ticket, but don't worry. You don't have to pay it. So then I threw it out just because he said I didn't have to pay it. It was like a $50 or $75 ticket. And then the next year I was back in Florida. And I go, you know what? I should just, for peace of mind, so I don't get pulled over in Hollywood, Florida one day and get sent to jail. I was like, for peace of mind, I should just pay this. And then I literally called the like district attorney's office to be like, or whatever you call to pay tickets. It's like, I don't have the number. I just like to pay this ticket. And I talked to someone, left a message. They never got back to me. So anyways, frightened. But the whole bail system in America is fucked up. And then they have this whole thing right now, this bail group, a California bail group called the Bail Project. Because it's weird. Everybody complains in New York. New York's getting verifiably, I don't know if it's getting more dangerous. It feels more dangerous. I don't know if it's like legit. I haven't lived here for that long, and I guess it, time frame matters. But people have been complaining that New York's getting a little crazier, and they have all these like they got rid of bail and stuff because it is unfair. Because the fact is like Sam Bankman-Fried gets $250 million bail, and he gets to go home because he's figures out a way to deal with that. Whereas like a normal person who not commits a financial crime, but say you, I don't know, like do something, some sort of non-violent crime, say a drug crime or something, like, you get caught selling weed or some shit or whatever, like that kind of thing. If you don't have the money, then you're just like, well, you just rot in jail until we figure this out. So, it obviously the whole system benefits rich people. Everybody knows that. But so this bail project thing had to get shut down because it was all backed by all these famous people, Danny Glover, John Legend, Richard Branson, to name a few, posted 3,000, they posted this project, this whatever group posted a $3,000 bond for a burglary suspect, Rashawn Gaston Anderson, in December 2021. 6 days later, he shot Cheng Yang Wang 11 times in the Chinatown section of Las Vegas. So, sometimes you swing and you miss. You swing and you miss. So the bail system in this country is fucked. Am I proposing a better system? I don't know. I don't know of a better system, but it does seem somewhat unfair, as is the entire criminal justice system, though. I guess we'll see what happens with Sam Bankman-Fried, but it sounds like he's fucked. A real interesting thing, if you've been following the FTX thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about it, but so this other guy who was the co-CEO of the Alameda thing, that's what was involved in a lot of this scam, where that girl was the CEO, but there was a co-CEO, this guy Sam Trabucco. He was the co-CEO. He hasn't been charged with anything, although I imagine he will be. But it's an interesting Twitter thread because on August 24th, he basically does this whole thread that he says last year when Sam Bankman-Fried announced that Carolyn and I were out, the mousy rat chick, and I were Alameda's co-CEOs. The goal for all involved was to bring titles in line with reality. The two of us had been acting as CEOs for quite some time, and we wanted our outside image to reflect that. So this is this summer. He probably knows the extent to which he's involved in a huge scam. So he says, it's with the same goal that I'm announcing today that I'm stepping down as co-CEO. Caroline will continue as Alameda CEO. I will stay on as an advisor, but otherwise will not continue to have a strong day-to-day presence. So it seemed like this whole tweet thing is he's trying to be like, I got nothing to do with this shit. He said, over the past few months, I've significantly reduced my role at Alameda. Like he was writing this knowing that there was some shit coming. He's like, I've significantly reduced my role at Alameda. This happened gradually and has most recently involved a lot of time not really working at all. Literally, he's been tweeting being like, I don't do shit. I wasn't working, so if anything really got past me, that's because I wasn't really working there. He says, I can't personally continue to justify the time investment of being a central part of Alameda. Everyone works really hard here, and spending a normal amount of time at work is tricky. And so he just goes on this whole thing, but basically he is... he's probably next. He's probably up next. There's him and one other guy who are probably up next in the old getting totally fucked, as they should. Because but it's funny because I remember seeing that at the time and not thinking anything of it, and you see it in retrospect, and you're like, oh, yeah, you were really trying to walk that shit back, huh? All right, one last thing, and then we shall open up the old phone lines. 20 more likes, everybody. 19 more likes, and I will give away a channel membership. Smash that like button. Help me get to 12,000 subscribers by January 1st. That would be sick. It'll be a tough tale because, to be honest, live shows don't really do well in the algorithm in terms of like after the fact, but you never know. Okay, Whoopi Goldberg. I'm not going to get too much into this. The only reason I'm going to even get into this is because I had one thought, because I've been listening. The YouTube algorithm. All hail the algorithm, by the way, everybody. YouTube algorithm is a wild one. And that you find out about stuff you've never seen. Something catches your eye. But so I have. This Whoopi Goldberg thing, she's in trouble again because she basically just doubled down on the comments she made, essentially that Jews are not a race. So she got in trouble around this time last year, for saying Jews are not a race, and that the Holocaust wasn't racially motivated. She said the Holocaust was racially motivated. Oh, no, it wasn't. Yeah. Sorry. So basically, she says the Holocaust was not about race. She says, recently while doing press in London, I was asked about my comments from earlier this year, Goldberg said in her Tuesday statement. I tried to convey to the reporter that what I had said and why, and attempted to recount that time. It was never my intention to appear as if I was doubling down on hurtful comments, which is fair. They asked her, and she was like, I'm just trying. Now, again, if you're not being malicious from the outset, and you honestly are like have a point that you think you're making, then it wouldn't be crazy if it's brought up again and you felt like this misunderstanding. It would not be that crazy to be like, hey, like, look, I never meant it that way in the first place. I'm going to try to put forth my argument again here. But says it was never my intention to appear as if I was doubling down on hurtful comments, especially after talking with and hearing people like rabbis and old and new friends weighing in. Goldberg also noted her support for Jewish people has not wavered and never will. Well, she stole the name. She appropriated our culture. Good for her. But she says, I'm still learning a lot, and believe me, I heard everything everyone said to me. I believe that the Holocaust was about race, and I am still as sorry now as I was then that I upset, hurt, and angered people. And again, when I say something and I believe I'm right, and maybe it's not the most popular thing to say, but I'm right, and then someone's mad and you go, you got to apologize. That's what you say. You go, I'm sorry you're angry. I'm sorry you're hurt. You don't say, I'm sorry that I hurt you. It's your hurt. This is literally facts don't care about your feelings. But she goes, my sincere apologies again, especially to everyone who thought this was a fresh rehash of the subject. I promise it was not. What is she even getting interviewed about? Who gives a shit what Whoopi Goldberg has to say outside of The View? Anyways, and then they go after her again. The ADL is like back to just shitting on because it was during Hanukkah. But again, she didn't bring it up. They asked her. And then what's she supposed to say in the interview? Oh, I'm not talking about that. And then she says this. She says, Jews are divided on whether they're a race, religion, or both, which is true. My best friend said, not for nothing, but there's no box on the census for the Jewish race. So that leads me to believe they're probably not a race. Fair enough. And honestly, the only reason I wasn't even going to talk about any of this shit with the race stuff, but I've been listening or watching these YouTube videos of this guy, Wes Watson, who I don't know how, I'm sure some of you know who this guy is. I don't know how this guy on my algorithm, but then I've been watching a bunch of this guy's videos. He was like in California jail for 10 years in like and he was crazy. He was like part of the Aryan Brotherhood, but his whole thing is like, I'm not racist. He's like, I was in the Aryan Brotherhood. This guy's like super jacked, and he's become like a motivational speaker. And he's one of those dudes. He's like David Goggins, but he just yells. He's just like, you stupid motherfucker. And all he does is yell at you. It's pretty funny. It's funny that is like a real form of motivation for some people, is just get yelled at. Although I guess that's what like boot camp is or whatever. But so he talks about how in prison prison is all separated by race. And he's like, if you're a white guy and you show up to prison, like instantly you're just like, you're part of the Aryan Brotherhood, essentially. There's the Mexicans. The Mexicans who are born in Mexico, Mexican Americans, natives, black people, and then the whites. And the whites at his prison were like the Aryan Brotherhood. But he's like, we're not racist. He's like, some people are. But like it's all about like Hitler and everything still. And like, so it's funny because he's like, yeah, we're doing 88 burpees because 88 is like HH, which is Hail Hitler. He's like, but we're not racist. I swear we're not racist. It's just that's how it is. But then he talks about how like, if you get to jail, like it's not up to you. You're just like, you are a part of, you have to go with your race. And then I'm like, what happens if like a Jew, like a white Jew shows up? That seems like a conflict, right? Like a white Jew shows up and they're like, well, I mean, I am white, but I don't know if Aryan Brotherhood is necessarily the place for me. But anyways, I don't know why this is getting drummed up again, other than I think we're just on a slow news week right now. Because I was looking for shit to talk about, and I didn't really want to, but I will say that was the one thing. Like the fact that there's a fucking 4 hour, I don't know, 4 hour, but like a super ass long interview about Whoopi Goldberg. Who gives a shit? I guess I do. But the only reason I even brought it up, because I just thought it's such a funny thing where you show up to jail and the Aryan Brotherhoods are like, anybody know what to do with this Jew? I will say once upon a time I did think Jew was a race, and now I'm less inclined to believe so. It's like an ethnicity, I guess. Okay. Enough with the Jew talk. Let's open up the phone lines. Phone lines are now open, everybody. Give us a call. I owe a channel membership, so I will get right on that. Call in. Phone lines are open. 646-710-0949. Do you need bad advice? Do you want to talk about anything? Anything you want. Call in. It's that show. It's whatever you want to talk about. I'm gonna give away a channel membership right now because we hit 100 likes. I appreciate you all. I appreciate everybody who's been fucking with low value mail this year. 2023 is going to be a big year for the low value folks. I think so. I mean, someone's already hopefully got a job as a city manager from watching this show. How crazy is that? That's about it. And our membership has been given to Gun Hose. Shout out to Gun Hose for the channel membership. And we got ourselves our first caller of the evening. Let's see what they got to say. Thank you for calling Low Value Mail.
What's going on? It's Porkchop. I've returned.
Porkchop is back. How you doing, pal?
First of all, I would like to apologize.
Porkchop called in on the bathhouse last week.
I want to apologize about the pork comment. I had a couple beers, man, and I kind of forgot that pork was a Muslim thing,
Pork's a Muslim thing?
No. They don't eat it, right?
Oh, they don't eat it.
Yeah, I mixed that up. Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So, okay, my comment was
can't
right.
Tell if you're fucking
all right. No, I'm being completely serious, man. I said it with full confidence. I thought about it. I was like, wait, do they really? But, yeah, so, you did teach me something there.
There we go. We're learning things.
Yeah, little by little, man. I've got a little story.
Okay.
It's not like a near-death experience story, but I thought I died. It was on psilocybin, man.
Sure.
Yeah. So I basically took way too much. Didn't really measure things correctly.
How
but
much do
nonetheless,
you think you took?
Well, a normal dose would probably be 3.5. I think it's grams. I don't know. I don't really do this stuff too often.
3.5 dry grams is the correct.
Yeah, I think I probably took about double that, or just under double.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, but anyways, so me and my buddies were sitting down, and I told them, I'm like, all right, guys, let's watch a comedy show. Let's watch Dave Chappelle's new Sticks and Stones, man.
Yeah.
And they're just not down with it. And I was like, all right, well, what are we going to watch instead? And they decided on Rio 2.
On what? Rio?
Rio 2, the one with the talking birds?
Somewhat familiar, yes. I haven't seen it. It's a kid's movie, right?
Yeah. Which it's a pretty movie, but the talking birds, I feel was just made us all really uncomfortable.
Okay.
But so nonetheless, like one of my buddies is like, like I'm not feeling it, man. We need to go to bed. He's just started getting kind of like weirded out. I'm like,
how do you go to bed on 7 grams of mushrooms?
Exactly. So I'm like, dude, I don't know if this is a good idea, man. Like, we should just like stay up and maybe try to relax a bit. Like, nah, we're turning the lights out and going to bed. This is like 2 hours after like things started hitting.
I mean, a little pro tip, but if you're on enough psychedelics, you can never turn the lights out.
Yeah,
they never go out.
So I learned. I'm not planning on doing it again, mostly just because of how shitty of an experience it was, and I don't really need it in my life.
That was your first time ever?
No, that was the
last.
I've done them other times. That was the last time. Yeah, okay. I sort of what's it called? Yeah, I no longer romanticize it, I guess.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
So basically, we try to go to bed, and I'm like really confused because it's dark, and I get tangled up in this blanket, man. And I'm like trying to find my headphones and listen to music, and I don't know. I'm just screwing things up, and I start like flipping out because I think I'm like stuck in the blanket.
Okay.
And I knock some shit over, and then kind of just fall asleep. But then I wake up because I'm not technically awake. It's like, when you're blackout drunk and you're not really there.
Yes.
That's kind of what it was. I wasn't like conscious of anything. So my buddies were like telling me to relax, and they pinned me down on the bed, and they're like, dude, you need to just go to sleep, like relax. But like in my eyes, have you seen that scene from Saving Private Ryan where the dude in the window is having like a battle to the death over a knife or something?
I think so.
All right. Well, you're
basically freaking out. You're on drugs and you're freaking out.
Well, so they're telling me to calm down and like pushing me down onto the bed, and I'm thinking they're stabbing me.
Right.
So I keep dying, and then like after I die, it just restarts again, and they're like, dude, calm down, just relax, like, and I'm just getting stabbed to death. And that
sounds crappy.
Not doing that again. Yeah, no, it wasn't a fun time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I was gonna say that. Are you sure you're not thinking of like Requiem for a Dream? I remember there's that's a drug movie where he's tied down at some point, but I think he has his.
No, I definitely watched Private Ryan another time and was like, holy shit, I remember this like moment for moment because I relived it like too many times.
Oh, yeah, that sounds not fun.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a good time, but I'm all good now, but it was not fun then. But yeah, no, that was my little story. I didn't have a lot else.
Cool. All right, well, Porkchop, appreciate you calling in.
Yep, you have a good night.
If we have one takeaway, 7 grams of mushrooms is too much.
Too much in the dark, especially.
It's just an unnecessary amount. I don't know. It's too much.
You can probably just do it.
Half of that. Half of that's quite a lot still.
Yeah, no, not again. But yeah, thanks again, Danny.
All right, thanks, Porkchop. Happy New Year, man. Porkchop. Porked chop, everybody. 7 grams. No bueno. You do not. Oh, I mean, that's like you almost want to do that by yourself, if that makes sense. Hello. Thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
Hey, Danny. This is Xernel Sanders from the chat.
Xernel Sanders, how you doing?
Doing good. I actually have I just want to ask a question for some advice today.
Sure.
Yeah. So, how do you deal with your girlfriend, wife, significant other wanting to watch shows that you've watched a long time ago? My wife, in the year of our Lord, 2022, came up the other day and said, have you heard of this show called Breaking Bad?
Oh, fuck off.
No. She's like, what's it about? I hear it's really good. I'm like, seriously?
But you've obviously seen it? I would say... I would just be like, I've seen it. Honestly, it's so rare. Me and my girlfriend watch such different stuff. To be honest, like we actually like don't that often watch that much stuff because she just watches like dumb chick stuff, and I don't generally like that stuff. And I like watching sports. But I would say, is there an option to be like, hey, this one you got to do on your own?
No, she wants me to be there to help explain it to her.
Oh, that's the worst. I mean, my girlfriend, I don't know if she's like doing a bit on me or something, but she'll literally like only because we'll be watching a show that she knows I've also never seen. And then she'll be like, what's going on? And I'm like, I know as much as you do. I don't have any other inside information here on this show. We're watching the same show.
Yeah, it's bad when I've already seen the shows, because I've shown her some anime and some other series that I've cared about in the past, and like kind of had to break down some of the metaphors or the important moments. And now every time she sees a new show, she's like, "Come explain it to me."
Oh no! It sounds like you brought this on yourself. To be honest,
I did. I think
with
I
the
did.
metaphors, you were trying to impress your girl. Be like, "Hey, check out all these metaphors that you don't know about."
I did. That's how I bagged her and turned into
right?
a wife.
Well, you fucked up, because now when you watch Breaking Bad, you got to tell her about the metaphors.
Well,
I don't know.
Should we start with Breaking Bad or start with Better Call Saul?
I think you start with Breaking Bad. I always personally am one where you go in the by year
release order.
Yeah, release order, exactly. Even if there's not like, because the Star Wars make no sense if you do them in order, right? I mean, technically, I guess, but like you don't do them in order.
They made more sense back when the extended universe existed.
Yeah. But I guess your only real best bet is if do you want to watch Breaking Bad again or no?
I do. I fucking love Breaking Bad.
Oh, well, if you want to watch it again, because like if I didn't want to watch it again, I'd pretend like the show was crappy. I go, that show's not that good, to be honest.
I could never pretend Breaking Bad was crappy.
Well, then, I don't know. Just print her out something in advance, like some sort of handy guide.
Like notes? I should make like
just
a
be
class lesson about it?
No, just give her some print-offs. Be like, hey, here are the notes that you're going to want to... You know what you could do? I bet you what could do a number on this would be Chat GPT. I bet
Chat GPT?
Chat GPT.
I've been experimenting with Chat GPT.
Honestly,
that thing is amazing.
It is fucking amazing. If people have not used it, OpenAI's Chat GPT, it's really just a new way of a search engine. Essentially, it's just like a super like high powered search engine, I guess.
It's the future of cheating on essays in high school and college.
Yeah. I mean, it like the funniest thing is I think that dude Bology who we had on Boys Cast, but he tweeted there's someone made a version of Chat GPT called like the Chat GPT Times, and they crank out just like crappy journalism where you can just enter a couple like headlines and it'll give you a whole article. And honestly, like, cannot tell the difference between this and like a Vice article. Like all the
hockey plus racism equals
kind of, to be honest, but like when you read it, you go like, oh man, you could have ChatGPT crank you out one of these things, and then you just go give it like a pretty cursory edit, and like that's fit to print for a lot of these sites and shit. It's like the degree of trash. I mean, it's more of an indictment of the fact that like they just make garbage, but yeah, it is pretty interesting. Anyways, all right. Good luck,
Thanks
Colonel Sanders.
Danny.
Happy New Year, Colonel Sanders, everybody. Yeah, if you haven't seen ChatGPT, check it out. It is truly amazing product. 20 more likes, I will give away another channel membership. And let's see, you know what? We're flirting with an all-time high on concurrent viewers for Low Value Mail. I think we need maybe 220. I think 221 is the all-time high for on YouTube. On Rumble, it's thousands. Rumble, we fucking smash it over on Rumble. So let's see if we can hit it. Again, the phone lines are open. 646-710-0949. We can talk about whatever it is you'd like to talk about. I'm trying to get this Nightbot thing cranking again, but I think I fucked it up. Hello. Thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
Hey, it's Occupy My Life again.
Oh, what's up, man?
Hey, so my bad advice is, I think I've even heard you and Ryan talk about this before, was the diamond hands advice with crypto.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible advice. Well, isn't it? I mean, the thing is like that, that would have been fantastic advice if you own shares of Amazon, but like a lot of times it does not work out that way.
Yeah. Well, I can explain my story. Is like I started buying crypto in late 2020. It was really at the beginning of like the bull run, and my landlord got me into it. Okay. But he was always like telling me, oh no, just hold for 5 years, 10 years. Like he's just like put your money in a time capsule. And but like, so I put like 10 grand into ETH, and like,
in what year was this?
This was in late 2020.
Late 2020. Okay. Because and again, like, that's another thing with the whole crypto diamond hands thing is you're like, most people, even though all crypto, like, you know, the crazy year that it's been, it's like if you bought it 5 years ago, you're still, I mean, timing wise, you're still likely, even if you bought it at the peak of 2018, you're like barely down on Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what I heard about it back then. I just didn't buy it, unfortunately. But like I had been holding it through this bear run. I had bought ETH at like, it was at like a 900, and like at its peak, it got to 4,900. I'm
aware.
This was like in by November of 2021, it was at 4,900. That was its ATH all-time high.
Yeah. But so what's your you're asking for advice or you're giving advice here?
Well, I'm just telling you my story is that I was asking my landlord who knew about crypto for advice, and he's like, "Oh no, dude, it's gonna go up to 10K, 15K. Just hold."
Again, it's time. Here's the thing, and everybody has this problem, myself included, is you basically have it and you go like, I'm going to hold this for the long term. You know, I'm going to hold it for 20 years. And then it does something crazy. It goes up so much. And you're like, and then you start being like, okay, maybe I'm not going to hold it for the long term. Or maybe you say I will hold it for the long term. And then it gets cut in half. And that you can't take. You're like, oh my God, I just lost so much money on paper. And then you sell out. It's very easy to break your rules. It's so hard to stick to them a lot of times.
Yeah. That's literally what happened is like it got to its all-time high, and I had over like almost 40 grand, which I would have loved to have just cashed out in retrospect, but he told me to keep holding, and then it started going down and then going down, and then I just like.
But who knows? In 5 years from now, it might be 60 grand, assuming you didn't sell it.
Well, that's I put a little bit into these shit coins, which went to nothing when the market crashed. So
yeah,
my bad advice was get to have diamond hands, basically.
Yeah,
so.
Diamond hands. But again, diamond hands is I don't know. Diamond hands is if you have a company that's like, you know, if you want to diamond hands the fucking Apple or something or Amazon, like go for it. You're probably safe, but yeah, I don't know. It isn't prudent to complete, like, because that's the thing. When it was at 4,900, you could have at very minimum just taken out what you put into it and just literally let the rest ride.
And then you're playing on house. That's what I would do in the future, you know. But
yeah, that's always a good thing is, someone I know said, if you ever have a double, if anything, you ever have double, sell 55% of it. Cause that way you guarantee a 10% return.
Oh, okay.
Which is a good, I think, decent.
I mean, I would sell whenever you see a comfortable amount of money. I would just sell.
I mean, it's but you know what? That changes, and the problem is greed kicks in, and you go, well, it could go higher. Yeah. And it's a tough game. You got to really be able to like step away from it and really you almost want to have a plan in advance so that when you get into it, you could just go revert back to the plan you made and just say like, well, I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thanks,
man.
Take care. Yeah. Tough game out there. I mean, I'm looking at shares of Tesla. If people have followed that, and I can't. I mean, the whole company. Now the company's unraveling. Maybe I'm saying this now in this amazing buying opportunity for Tesla, but I see a lot of people who I follow who are much smarter than I who think Tesla's going to tank. And if you had told me that I was where we're at, I would have not believed them. Hello. Thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
Daniel. How's it going? It's the mayor of Moose Jaw.
The mayor of Moose Jaw. How are you doing?
Nice to hear from you. I was just watching Andrew Tate's Hustlers University last night for the first time.
For like, you actually got a subscription to Hustlers University?
Subscribe or anything. They just put it out on YouTube.
Oh, you just like got a bootleg of it?
Yeah, there's Grand Theft Auto playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate. Okay.
It was quite something. I don't. Have you checked him out?
I haven't seen much of his actual like Hustler University content. From the sounds of it, though, it sounds like he's trying to, like, he's moving on to something new, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know much about him at all.
But anyways, what did you watch? What did you think about it?
Just like his first 5 lessons or whatever on business, basically. It's pretty entertaining. I mean, speaking of bad advice, it is bad advice.
What's the advice? Can you condense it for us?
Well, first advice isn't bad. It's speed. Go quickly. With business, don't be slow. Fair enough. But then the problem is the next step, which is he just describes a Ponzi scheme. And then
isn't the whole thing multi-level marketing? Isn't that literally what it is?
I think so, probably. I mean, but he's applying it to any kind of business.
Okay.
His example was a cosmetic company or a music label.
And
but his basic idea is to get orders before investing in the company. He's like, don't invest in companies 5,000 at the maximum. And then just kind of wing it, basically. Get orders and then worry about fulfilling them.
What? I mean, what if you have... I mean, I guess he's talking about... That doesn't even make sense, though. What if you sell a product? Like a physical product?
Yeah, so the idea is just put a picture on a website.
Well, when do you develop that product, though? I just asking...
Speed. That's where the speed comes in.
Okay.
Now you got money that you can...
Well, I mean, sure. What happens if you do that and then you're like, oh, there's actually this product exists and there's a patent on it, and you're like, okay, so now what? I just refund everybody's money?
He's a hustler. It's not about being legit.
It's not about being legit. It's just
no. Being legit is for suckers who go to university. Real university.
He's really been. I like some of the things. Don't get me wrong. I like some of the things Tate says, but he is a lot of times just really all over the map with some stuff. Where I go this doesn't really make.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's
got some good sound bites though. He's got some good.
Yeah, from a meta, it's like Alex Jones, super entertaining. Sometimes he says some real shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says some wacky shit. Or Kanye.
Yeah, exactly. All of them. But yeah, I don't know. That makes no sense. Don't have a product and just kind of wing it and then see how that goes. I mean, generally, I think
it's a Ponzi.
Yeah, it's a Ponzi. Well, I know his stuff is all the reason why we all even know about Andrew Tate is because I mean, and I will say this was a genius move on his part with the multi-level marketing thing. Was he basically was like, hey, sign up for Hustlers University, get a referral code and become an affiliate, and then you can sell Hustlers University and you'll get a cut. And the way to sell it is by cutting up all my content and throwing it on TikTok. So then he just had all these, which is genius. He literally gamed TikTok in a absolute genius fashion and probably made absurd sum of money. But I don't.
There's only one him though. You can't try to replicate that.
No, and I'm sure TikTok will try and mitigate that in the future. But yeah, again, you have to have the whole multi-level marketing thing. All right, so your review of Hustlers University is fun
to listen to while you're playing FIFA. I enjoyed it.
That's it.
It was a good time.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
Danny. No. I just wanted to say it is very cool that you open up the phone lines like this and let fans call in. It's a real to talk to you.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy this part of it too, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Good. All right, thanks. Happy New Year.
Cheers. Have a good one.
I will say I do like talking to y'all. South Coast Horizon with the super chat says, I laugh when people complain about crypto. I bought 0.2 around 800 Canadian and sold at 1,600 Canadian because I was a broke ass student at the moment, later maxed at 20K. Oh, I think I know who this is. I think this is Boomhauer.
Hey, buddy, it's Glock 'em down from South Carolina.
Glock 'em down. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing really good, buddy.
How was your Christmas?
Oh man, I had a great Christmas. I ended up pretty drunk. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry about all that.
No, it's all good. We played your. at the beginning of the show, I played your voice.
Yeah, I saw that. My wife got a kick out of that.
You sounded just like Boomhauer.
Yeah, I was done by then. I was like walking around on my porch, drunk as fuck by that point. But it was great.
Hell yeah. So how's it going?
Yeah, it's going great, buddy. How have you been doing?
I've been well. I had a good Christmas. You saw me. I was at my studio, and then I don't know what I did. I think I ended up getting Chinese food. Pretty standard stuff.
That's the way to go, man. Come on, ain't no wrong.
Although I kind of got fucked over because the day before Christmas, it's one of those things where it happened, and then I was like, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal. Like I went to go get money out of the ATM on the 24th. And the machine just ate my card, my debit, and I had no cash. I had like no cash on me. Ate my card, and then I was like, whatever. I never need cash, like I just have it just in case. But I'm like, I never need cash. And then on Christmas Day, I go to order Chinese food, walk over to the place to go pick it up. They're like cash only. I'm like, oh, I don't have any cash. I had like $20 on me. I was like, I don't have any cash. This is it. I have $20, and they or $25 or something, and they gave me like some of my order. I was like, okay, I don't know. Okay, I couldn't pay for it, and I didn't have an ATM
At least they let you prorate your meal.
They did let me prorate the meal. Actually, it was nice of them. Yeah. So, what's up? You need some advice? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Oh, buddy, I need tons of advice, but I have a quick question.
Sure.
Whenever it comes to, I know everybody was talking about Andrew Tate and all that.
Yeah.
Do you like being who you are? You're, I would say, an entertainment industry adjacent at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I am in the entertainment industry. I do, obviously,
sure,
comedy. And
you're
all
a
that
pro.
Stuff. Yeah, I'd say I'm not mainstream. I'm mainstream entertainment adjacent.
Makes sense.
Like, buddy. I know those people, but the odds of me ever getting into that world are lower and lower as the days go by. But that's
that's like honestly fine by nowadays.
Honestly, that's fine by me. Like the kind of stuff that I see getting made is just absolute garbage.
Absolutely.
But yeah, anyway. So, what's your question?
My question about that was: do you think that like Andrew Tate, all those kind of people, do you think there's any actual like organic ability to do that, or is that like an orchestrated thing to build these people up? Because it happens so fast, and then you see most people on YouTube, they're putting in effort. They got 1,000 views or some bullshit like that. There has to be something behind that, pushing it really hard, right?
No. So I will say what happens, and because I've been, as someone who's like, this is the first year that I've really taken YouTube seriously, and I've been working on my YouTube channel, and it's going okay. But so I read a lot about YouTube and just trying to understand how it all works, and just seeing with the Andrew Tate stuff. He was online for a long time, and he was posting a lot of stuff for a long time. And so he had this whole back catalog. Like a lot of people say that like YouTubers sometimes will get fucked because they'll post a video and like their first video will go super viral, but then they
have 1,000 subscribers.
No, not even that, but it's just like YouTube then will want to show that person who just watched your video your old stuff, and like you don't really have anything old to watch. Whereas a lot of
like a video on a squirrel in your front yard, and the other one was some amazing thing.
Or whatever, it doesn't even matter. But the thing is like they're trying to show, the YouTube will then try and show that person all your old stuff, and you don't have anything old. So it honestly is like, but the thing with Andrew Tate is like, no, he had all this stuff going, and then, he had his Hustlers University. He was, trying to be famous. He was on Twitter. He was like a known person on Twitter, and then he just figured out this thing where he could game the TikTok or whatever, and it worked.
It was one amazing thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it was a really clever thing.
And it's an amazing thing when you look at it, because guys like him, all these other guys, they are basically the new religious leaders. Back in the day, they would have, some preacher or whatever would come out, there'd be tens of thousands of people flocking. Now, some guy like that, it's amazing the shift they've had.
Oh, I mean, for sure. But there's so many people like him, and everybody has their version of someone famous that they look up to, like Andrew Tate. That's not like, I'm sure for some people Ethan Klein is that guy or whatever, that H3.
Ethan Klein. That asshole.
Yeah, it's just like it's all over here. It's all over the place.
Who do you look up to?
Who do I look up to? I don't know.
Yeah. Or do you know too much about it all now?
No. I don't specifically look up to one person. I just kind of like to take it as much as possible. I don't know.
Norm Macdonald for me.
I mean, I do love Norm. Yeah, I do love Norm. All right, cool. I gotta let you go. Thank you for calling in. Have a
buddy. It was good to talk.
Take care.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
But from South Carolina. I figured out this Nightbot thing. See, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know who I look up to per se. I don't have a certain person. Maybe Jeffrey Epstein. No, I don't know. I don't have anybody. I will say, some people say that stuff with religion where they go like, I think someone said it on this show where they go, I wish I could be religious. And I understand that. Like, if you're able to, there is something about like I guess being able to do that, if that makes sense. I don't know. But the phone lines are open, 646-710-0949. We're going out the way we came in the year with some bad advice. The show is not really an advice show anymore, is it, though? It was maybe the first 5 episodes, which a lot of times that happens with podcasts where you eventually figure out what the show actually is. So who knows? Maybe this is the last one ever of bad advice. Hello. Thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
Oh, hey, it's Christian from Oklahoma. What's up,
Christian from Oklahoma. How you doing, pal?
Oh, yeah, I was that dude who's talking about buying all the sneakers and stuff.
Oh,
still
right,
going,
yeah.
man.
You still got the sneakers?
Yeah, that's what got it going, man.
So what's happened in the Yeezys? Because I've seen that Adidas is sitting on $500 million worth of Yeezys that they don't know what to do with.
Yeah, so what I've been reading is said they're gonna drop them. I guess they're gonna try to get rid of it, and then I don't know what they're gonna do with the rest of the stuff, but it looks like they're just gonna drop it and see what happens.
They're just gonna sell $500 million worth of Yeezys?
Yeah, but they're just gonna take the name off of it and just put Adidas 350.
So if they take the name off of them, can they sell them at Yeezy price? Because I saw someone tweet, like some hype beast kind of tweet some. I don't know how I saw it, but like one of those pages tweet about it, and then all these people were like, "We're not paying the Yeezy price if Kanye West isn't associated with it," which makes not really a ton of sense to me, but.
Oh, bro, they're gonna do it. Do you know who Virgil Abloh is from Off-White?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, he died in 2021, and they keep on still running his shoes because his
but he didn't taint his. But I think the reason why they're saying that is just because he kind of tainted like the Off-White guy is the Off-White guy. Everybody knows that. Whereas Kanye is like, I'm not involved with Adidas anymore. He said all the crazy shit he said.
Yeah. You know what's funny too is that Virgil Abloh was under Kanye West's wing.
Really?
Yeah, he was a head designer of his, and then he got the Louis Vuitton deal, but after Kanye declined it because he was gonna get a 49-51 deal. And he wasn't interested into it.
Okay.
But
so you bought a bunch of Yeezys? You bought more Yeezys? Yeah. And what do you do with them?
I like them, man. I don't really care what anybody says.
Yeah, that's fine. I collect. I have things that I collect. People collect all sorts of shit. Do you like do you like saran wrap them or whatever? And
oh no, nah, bro, I don't do that.
Are they just in a closet?
Yeah, just in a closet, man.
And do you one day is there part of your brain where you go one day I'm gonna sell these all to buy a house?
Yeah, eventually. That's what I'm thinking about.
It's you're gonna one day I'm just gonna sell 5,000 pairs of Yeezys one shot.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it will come valuable. Look at the Air Jordan 1 when Jordan played.
Yeah. How much are those? A lot, right?
Bro, it's I think somebody paid $100,000 for one he actually wore. It's a Chicago.
Oh, that's different. If a game worn Michael Jordan shoe is.
Are you just talking about a general release Air Jordan 1 from 85?
Well, also people didn't collect sneakers back then though. But that's your plan is you're gonna hang on to them, and then eventually just sell them all.
Oh yeah. Also, Dan, I got another question actually. Yeah, it's about the Comedy Central thing you were saying a couple weeks back. So. I came back during Christmas to see my family, and they have cable and everything. So I turned to Comedy Central, and I'm watching some Seinfeld.
They have Seinfeld on Comedy Central now?
Yeah, they bought the syndicate rights.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching the one where was it? I forgot. They're dealing with the some labor thing, and it's the Aryan Brotherhood thing, and he's like, "Oh, you're Aryan."
Oh yeah, that was the one with I can't remember it, but where they think George is the leader or Jerry. Yeah. I remember that was a solid episode, and they go to Madison Square Garden and they get booed.
Yeah. So, but I was watching it, and then a couple commercials come on about the show that Charlamagne the God has now, and what I was thinking was why is Comedy Central doing this where they're just throwing out all the comedy and adding all the political BS to it? Because I understand the Daily Show and everything, but why do they keep on going with this idea?
I mean, Charlamagne is obviously, he's not a comedian, but he's comedy, he's in the comedy world. He does stuff with he's very well known, and I honestly don't know. I can tell you in New York City, I hang out with like, all the comedians. Nobody here is trying to get a deal with Comedy Central. Where I probably 10 years ago, that would have been like what everybody was going for. You're trying to get like a Comedy Central half hour, like, trying to get a deal with Comedy Central. Now, like Comedy Central is not spoken about amongst comedians in New York City. Like, that's what I always wondered too about like the comedian thing. Like nobody's really doing these specials. I just see stupid you just put it on ads. It just goes on YouTube. It's like I mean, like the thing is, who fucking watches Comedy Central anymore? I True. Unless you're trying to watch Seinfeld or something. And if you want to watch a comedy special, the idea that you have to wait for the time slot to come on and then like maybe sit through a commercial or multiple commercials, like just nobody's gonna do that. I just don't think there's any appetite for that. Like you go to Netflix, you go to a streamer, but Comedy Central, just the whole thing is just dying. I don't know. Like it's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for it. But when I was thinking about the Charlemagne thing, I'm like, because I used to watch him like all the time back in like 2016 and everything, and like I see him now, and like he's kind of fits into this like box where he checks the boxes of being a like an affirmative action thing. Like he's black, he has he's kind of has like the PC talking points and the woke talking points. He's really not that controversial. Yeah, when you like he's not super controversial. Him. Yeah, I mean Comedy Central is not exactly courting controversy. Anymore. Like they're kind of. I mean, if you look at their social media stuff, like if you want to go see what's going on with Comedy Central, go on like CC Stand Up's Instagram, and then go look at the comments on the comedy that they post. Like the comment section is probably better than a lot of the comedy. Like not that it's all bad, some of it's good, but they got so into the diversity stuff that they were like, like it's more important to have a diverse range of comics than to have like good comics. So then the comments are all these people who are like, this is not the page I signed up for. You used to show like all Dave Chappelle and South Park, and you're like, who the fuck are any of these people? And they're like, what is this? Yes, he just got some bro from like Iowa on the YouTube page with like 100 views. There is a lot of that, and there's like a lot of like super like there'll be like 4 non-binary comedians in a row, and people are like, what is going on here? I mean that wasn't my question, Danny, but thank you for picking up the call and everything. My pleasure, man. Happy New Year to you, bro. Yeah, Happy New Year too. Take care. Comedy Central. I mean, I said it on here before, but Comedy Central live streams on YouTube, they have like 11.5 million subscribers, and they get slightly more viewers. They get like 300 viewers. We have almost 200 watching right now. They'll get 300 for 11.5 million subs. They just have a dead channel. They're nobody, and like that's the way the YouTube algo works too. Is they keep showing it to people, they stop. Nobody ever clicks on it, and they go, "We're just never showing this to people ever again." Hello,
Danny. How's it going, man?
What is happening?
This is Pablo from California again.
Pablo from California. Did you call in on Sunday?
Not last Sunday. We have spoken. I'm the guy who was speeding a lot.
Oh, right. Speeding, man. What's up, dude?
Not much. Just tuned into the show.
Okay.
What was this about? Bad advice, right?
Well, I'm open, or whatever you want to talk about. It's the last show of the year. It's the last low value mail of 2022. Figured I would just open up the lines. We would chat. Wasn't really anything good in the news, to be honest.
No, not really. I mean, nothing really. I mean, well, the only thing is this winter storm, which I thought the funniest thing about it is I have a buddy who's a SoCal boy, just like me. He's lived his whole life in Southern California. He's never got to below 30. Yeah. Who decided to move to Illinois last week.
That's stupid.
And I talked to him the other day, and he said, we were just talking. He goes, let me check the weather. Oh, it looks like it's going to be -3 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And I was asking him.
What, he didn't know what Illinois weather was going to be like?
He did know, but he said, oh, no worries, I can handle it. And I was telling him, you've never been in freezing cold weather before. And I think during the storm, it got to -30. Yeah. And I asked him, how was that? And he goes, yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I mean, I grew up in that kind of weather. It sucks, but you also stay indoors and whatever. I mean, part of me, I will say, like, I actually had this, I don't know if makes any sense or not, but during all the holidays when like Ryan was back home, he went home to Canada, and they had like a power outage for a day, and he was showing photos, and it was like, 5 hours driving in a blizzard. And I was like, part of this must be why people hate Jews. Because I was just like, because we're all just like sitting inside watching basketball, and everybody's having like these harrowing travels. Everybody's flights are getting canceled, and it's all the Jews are just sitting at home.
Wow, that's one way to, wow.
I don't know. It's just a theory. It's probably a compounding thing, to be honest, though. It's not like, that's not the reason, but that's also not helping.
Does it help? Yeah, it doesn't help. I thought for sure it was just a vague thing, but I never really thought about that. You're right. I'll have to add that to my reasons to hate
But
Jews.
also, like, Muslim people aren't traveling either. It really is, like, that is really just a curse on the Christians.
Yeah. Never really thought about that. Yeah, I don't know why we.
But this is a Christian nation, so.
Yeah, but you're right. I don't know why exactly we choose to travel so much during the worst fucking time of the year.
Well, because that's the holiday. That's what it's about,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. All right. Anything else you want to chat about?
Oh, no, that was it. That was the only bad advice, which was, move to another state.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you live in California, it is wild to me. I guess it's the classic just grass is always greener kind of thing. Because I'm sure you live in California and you get tired of living in this like beautiful paradise where it's nice all the time and there's no real weather. It's just warm.
Or, scorching hot.
Or scorching hot or whatever. But I mean, like when it's scorching hot there, it's kind of scorching hot everywhere.
Yeah, it is, except, the only good part about here is no humidity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because people tell me, oh, move to Florida. I'm like, I'm not going to be in 112 degree with 90 degree humidity.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like that sounds even worse than what I have here.
It is worse.
But
I mean, that's like the best weather, in my opinion, is in California or like Hawaii or something. But
yeah. That was another thing to add on. The reason why my friend moved to Illinois, he doesn't know anyone out there. He has no friends out there. Nothing. The only person he knows out there, no job. The only person he knows out there is a guy he met through Xbox playing Destiny 2.
What?
That's the only. This dude convinced him to move out there because he said, "Oh, dude, it's great out here. The weather's great. The girls are great. Everything." And
how
he just
old
fell
is your
for
friend?
24.
Okay,
just like
so
me.
he's pretty young, I guess. That's
pretty young. Yeah.
That's not
much,
like
but
so insane. But so he just met a dude
crazy.
on Xbox, and then the guy's like, to Chicago.
Not Chicago. They're about an hour away from Chicago.
He's not even living in Chicago?
No, he's not living in Chicago. He's living just outside of Chicago. He's living in the dude's basement right now. We were joking that you're going to be killed or raped in there.
Oh, so he's living in the basement of a guy he met on Xbox?
Yeah, we keep making the joke. You're going to be murdered, and like he's going to eat you.
What's his plan there, though? Does he have any plan?
He does. He used to be an HVAC technician, and he also worked fixing cell phones and like tablets and shit like that.
Okay.
And so he said he's already started fixing a couple phones on the side, making a little bit of money like that. And we're like, so you're going to work on the HVAC? I don't think like AC is still. I'm pretty sure most houses still don't have AC up in the north, do they?
Well, they have heating. That's the H in HVAC is heating, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, he's got that. And then he told me, yeah, I'm thinking of becoming a chef now. I'm like, why do you keep changing jobs? Like you got the.
I mean, he's 24 years old. I mean, whatever. He's 24 years old. If he wants to change jobs, but like, I don't know. It seems like a fucking weird ass Illinois. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. But you're right. Not even living in Chicago. He's just an hour outside of Chicago.
Well, you know what, man? Do not be surprised if your friend is moving back to California in like 3 months from now. Being like,
yeah, I told him, listen, man, if it's getting in February, I'll think about moving out with you. But in the meantime, don't even talk to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. All right. I think he's gonna move back. That's my guess.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he hates his family here, so he might just stay out there for out of spite.
Yeah, there's that too. All right. Cool. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thanks, man.
Oh, I missed it. We got we hit 150 likes. Let me give away another channel membership. And again, if you haven't joined, sign up for patreon.com/lowvaluemail, locals.lowvaluemail.com, or become a scrote Hello, thanks for calling Low Value Mail.
Hey, Danny, it's Maurice.
Maurice, how's it going, man?
Doing well, a little salty, but I'm doing all right.
Why are you salty? How was your Christmas?
Well, speaking of travel, I was supposed to be in Cancun this week. Flight got delayed 3 days in a row. It's like, well, all right, I'll just cancel. I'll get my money back.
Did they give you your money back?
Yeah, they gave me all my money back, but it was one of those things where, like, you kind of have to go up the chain when you make a phone call.
Well, and it's impossible right now because, like, they're so in. I mean, I've been seeing the stuff with Southwest where, like, Southwest canceled, like, whatever. I don't know how many, 99% of all their flights. When I came back from Canada, crazy. I had a. Not that this was the greatest injustice, but it really pissed me off. Is I have like a suitcase. I never check my bag when I fly. I always have like a carry-on, and I have this carry-on that I've flown with everywhere. It's never been an issue, and I'm flying back to New York. I'm in Toronto, and then this woman was giving me a hard time about our dog, and like even though it's never been an issue, the dog had all the paperwork checked in, everything. And then as I'm walking away, she's like, "Hey, is your bag big enough to fit in the thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." And she goes, "No, I have to like see it." And then I go to like put it in, and it literally was like half an inch. It wouldn't fit in the thing lengthwise. And she's like, "Yeah, you got to pay for it." And she was being such a bitch. Her name was Mary from Air Canada. If anybody wants to see her at Pearson Airport, tell her.
See, that's just a tiny tyrant. Someone that just has enough power to fuck you in the moment.
She was. I said to my girlfriend, though, from my sense, she seemed like she was like a very rules-oriented person. She was super just by the book. Like she didn't have the capacity to understand that. Like sometimes, you don't have to be such a hard ass during the holidays. But whatever.
So question for you.
So you're not going to Cancun?
No, I'm just staying in Denver. I mean, it's not bad, but just ruins the whole thing. Like you plan a trip and you're just like, fuck.
That does really suck, though. Like, do you get a refund on your trip?
Yeah, I got a refund on everything.
Okay.
Speaking of traveling, I know you've been a whole bunch of places. Where would you recommend somebody like has to check out?
Somewhere that you have to check out anywhere in the world? Do you like doing stuff? Like, are you like a resort guy, or like
no, you like doing things?
You like seeing things?
Yeah, like seeing things.
I really like Paris. I think Paris is or Rome are both very cool cities. I really like Vietnam. I've been there.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, Vietnam is a pretty cool country. Lot of cool stuff in a fairly small country, even though it's like geographically it's small.
Right.
Where else would I don't know. I haven't been to like a crazy amount of places. I'd say those ones. Thailand. I really like Southeast Asia a lot.
Okay. Is that like Singapore and everything?
No, I don't think Singapore is part of Southeast Asia. No, that would have been like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. Okay. I didn't go to like Indonesia. I didn't go there.
Okay.
Yeah, just all that area, but it is really nice, and it's like fairly cheap to go travel there. Whereas, like,
I was just reading Japan is finally letting people come visit for tourism.
Yeah,
so they're like really trying to incentivize people to visit.
Yeah, I mean, like I know so many people. My friend he worked in the oil industry in Canada, and so they like shut down for several months a year when the ground gets frozen essentially. And he's like, a lot of the guys he works with straight up, they just go live in Thailand for like all the time that they're not working in the oil sands or whatever. They just go work in Thailand or live in Thailand.
See, I feel like it sounds rough as a guy saying like, I'm going to go move to Thailand.
Well, I mean, like again, everybody like jokingly is like, oh, because you're a pedophile, but like lots of normal people do just go to Thailand. Like,
that's true.
Or like if you go to Thailand, like obviously your friends might be like, "Oh, you're going to Thailand" or whatever. But lots of people like my parents have gone to Thailand. They're not sex tourists.
I'm surprised Thailand hasn't tried going more like pro-trans and be like, it's not pedophiles, it's trannies.
I mean, first off, they are like the most pro-trans place. They invented, I believe, a lot of the gender reassignment surgeries and stuff. Like. They like when you're there. I don't know if I wonder if they've gone woke at all in Thailand. But like when I was there, they call them lady boys.
Oh, like as like a legit thing, not
that's
like
just like a transgender. Yeah, it's not a pejorative. Just a transgender woman in Thailand is just called a lady boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just like what they call them. They're called ladyboys, and because they have such like soft features, so a lot of them are. I mean, you could kind of tell. I always prided myself on having a pretty good eye for that kind of thing, but I had friends there who were like, "That's." I mean, I remember specifically, and I look back on it now, and I think it's so crazy. But at the time, it seemed totally normal. Where like we were somewhere in Thailand, and my friend Andrew was like, "Oh man, that girl's so hot." And I'm like, I don't think that's a girl. I think that's a guy. Which now it's like you're almost not even allowed to say that. Like, like you're not even allowed to say like, I don't think that's a girl. That's a guy. But at the time, totally normal. And then he just went up and asked her. He's like, "Hey, are you
just casually?"
Just casually, he's like, "Hey, are you a girl or a guy?" And she's like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "I think you're a girl." And she's like, "No, I'm a guy."
Damn.
Right. Whereas now, like if you did that shit in the West, oh my God, that's your life is over, or at least seems.
Yeah,
like
you're.
But like she didn't seem to take any offense to it. It's just normal. But yeah, I they are very pro trans in Thailand. I don't think they're like against it in any way, but they call them ladyboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But anyways, yeah, I would say there, Southeast Asia, good bang for your buck.
Okay, awesome. I'll make that my next trip, and I'll call and let you know. And see you next year, Danny.
Later, Maurice. Happy New Year. All right, Maurice from Denver, everybody. I do have an eye for the lady boys. I have quite the eye for them, in that I can tell that they're more boy than lady. Crazy that you're not allowed to say this shit, huh? You're really not allowed to talk about this stuff. I mean, you are, but how far we've come, or not come. Hello, I think we gotta.
Hey, buddy, it's me. I got a quick one for you.
Yeah.
You know, I really fucking want to go learn to scuba dive, right? Like, that's my shit. That's what I keep doing.
Okay.
And I think it's like the coolest shit in the world, right? And so, but every time I go to do it, you know, it's like, well, it's expensive or whatever. My car breaks down. Got to get a new AR-15, whatever. But my point is...
Did you say you got to get an AR-15?
Well, get a new one. I like to get a new one every year.
You buy a new AR-15 every single year?
Yeah.
Do you do something with the old one, or you just kind of stack them up?
No, I have several.
You have several. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And when you go to shoot them, like, how do you pick which one you want to shoot? Is it always the newest one?
Shoot all of them.
All of them. You'll just be like, do they shoot different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, is it like an instrument where if you bought like a Fender Stratocaster every year, you're like, they all have different sound?
Absolutely. They handle differently. They have different accessories, different barrel lengths, different twist rates, different bullet, grains. It's definitely a lot of minutia to get into, just like everything else. Scuba diving's the same way. It's layers on layers on layers type shit.
Of course. I mean, every hobby, you can always get bogged down. If you want to be like an equipment guy, like I know a lot of like musicians, a lot of people in like my stuff, like, filmography and like all that stuff where people are like getting new cameras and getting new lens packages. Like, you could go insane with all that stuff. But, anyways, but you wanted to get into scuba and you haven't?
Yeah, my question is like, how do you stay focused on putting like something that like, it's not like a necessity, it ain't eat food or shelter or whatever. How do you make sure to, keep your eye on the prize and make sure you follow through on that thing that's like cool as shit for you? The other boy can call in and answer, whatever, but yeah, I need some advice on that. It's hard to do,
I mean, where can you go? Like, are there scuba lessons near you? Like, is there like a local pool where you can go get your like scuba certification kind of thing?
Yeah. It's like $1,000 though.
It's $1,000. So, I mean, I would say like you gotta, if you're really serious about it, then you gotta like, make some sort of plan to do it. I mean, if you have the $1,000, I would say just go, pay for it, and then that way you're obligated to go do it. If you need to save the money, then I guess you got to go make some sort of plan on how to get that money saved up so that you can go do it. But you got to really want to. I don't know. Like I have lots of, I guess, I think everybody does, where you have those things where you kind of want to do them, but you're like, I don't badly want to do this, but it would be like nice to do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's your cool thing you want to do this year, man? 23. What's that thing that's like, man, I gotta fucking do this?
My cool thing that I want to do in 2023.
Cool to you. It ain't got to be cool to anybody else. Just cool to you, Bo.
I don't have anything like that hobby-wise that I have like any hobby goals, to be honest. I don't have anything really like that. I'm just trying to keep my head down, 2023 is really just going to be working on just my career with podcasting and stuff, and this show and the bathhouse and all that stuff. I'm hoping that 2023 we'll have some cool guests on the bathhouse, just because there's a lot of odd people kicking around the Stand Comedy Club.
How are you feeling about still moving to New York? You know, how's it been? You know, is it you still loving it?
I hate
in the back of your head. Are you regretting it?
No, I hate New York. No, I'm not regretting it, but I hate living here.
Really?
Yeah, it's
as bad as I think it would be.
It's not like, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just the quality of life here is very.
If you have to describe the place you live and you're paying an astronomical amount of money, it's not terrible. I don't think it's a great place.
Well, I mean, the opportunities are just much greater here. Like, I still would not move, and I do not regret moving here. Like, you know, you can make, like in comedy, you can make way more money doing comedy in the city here. People take you more seriously. Like, you're around the best comedians in the world. But just like living here is not the best, but whatever. Very few people move to New York with their plans of never leaving. Like, kind of everybody eventually, the goal is to get popular enough where then you can now leave.
You gonna get married this year?
This year? No, not 2020. Not 2023. Maybe 2024 though.
Okay, cool. Shit. Yeah, I look forward to that then, brother.
All right, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Take it easy.
New AR every year. God damn. Yeah, New York is, if you've lived in New York, it's an awesome city to visit. It's cool to live here, but fuck, there are some things about this place that just stink. 11 more likes, by the way. I'll give away another channel membership. Yeah, there was actually, like, I saw someone tag me in it today on Twitter, and again, this stuff happens everywhere, but this was just, I guess this is right beside where I used to live. There's just some guy, CCTV footage of some guy getting in an argument with some other dude, like literally right where I just moved from, and then the guy just stabs him in the neck. Guy bleeds out and dies. Hello.
What up?
Yo, Tony Scarboni.
It's a Hard Money Troll.
Oh, not Tony Scarboni. My bad. You guys sound similar.
Does somebody else call with a block number also?
You know what? No, he doesn't. I mixed you up, but you guys sound the same. How's it going, Hard
What's
Money
his
Troll?
name?
His name's Tony Scarboni.
Oh, yeah. I've heard his name.
You guys have a similar West Coast. You guys both have not to dox you.
Yeah, right.
Because
if I didn't dox myself with my speech.
Yeah, but you guys both have a very West Coast, although he's West Coast Canada.
Well, the funniest thing is I didn't even notice until I started traveling around what a insane West Coast dialect I have.
Yeah.
And then somebody said they're like, oh, like your accent, and I'm like, what do you fucking mean, bro? You know? And
yeah,
it's
of
like,
course.
Well, and I was like, oh, self-realization.
Pretty much everywhere has an accent to somebody, though.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I've never been good with impersonations and stuff like that. I'm not sure who, like, what sort of. Yeah, I find all that stuff super interesting in like a way, even though I'm like not. Like, you're probably not very good at impersonations, are you?
I could do some. Yeah, I'm not great. I have.
What's your best one? Throw it out here.
I could do an okay Jordan Peterson. I had the good one on the Boys Cast. It's no. So yeah, I gotta go on. But that honestly, it's cheating because I'm from Canada, so I got a real ear for that Canadian sound.
I think I told you about that Jordan Peterson show I worked, right?
I don't think so. You worked on the Daily Wire or something or other?
No. He was doing a live speaking engagement.
Oh,
and I kind of was able to sneak my way into like the meet and greet thing. I think I reposted.
Why didn't you send me his phone number? People don't know this, but you're constantly sending me comedians' phone numbers.
Yeah, well, you've yet to call one.
Yeah, I'm not calling a comedian randomly.
You know, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, you could be friends with Felipe Esparza.
I think he's very funny. I'm just not calling him.
He's really... Yeah, well, that's pretty fucked up, dude. I mean, you think of the path not taken on this. Like, there's another reality where Danny gets the balls to actually send Felipe a text.
And be like,
Felipe comes on the Boys Cast, and then like now you're big in Mexico.
First off, I don't see why he would not come on the Boys Cast, except he's not in New York ever.
Well, I mean, he's always touring.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe he is.
Maybe he would. Maybe his buddy Danny could open for him.
We'll smoke some weed. Yeah, except he wouldn't. I wouldn't be his buddy if I'm texting him. He's like, "How'd you get my number?" And I'm like, "Oh, are you familiar with the Hard Money Troll, a guy who you worked with, who unknowingly? How do you get their number? You take it off a call sheet?"
No. Yeah. Well, like I'm trying to think of what the. I need it for my work.
Sure.
You know,
okay.
like
for your line of work, you need the performer's phone number.
Yeah.
Right.
There's sometimes performers represent themselves.
Right.
So usually that's when I get that.
I mean, comedians are generally pretty low maintenance. Like a lot of
Danny,
times.
let me tell you this. I absolutely love working a comedy show.
Yeah.
Because you don't have 2 or 3 fucking bands of 5 assholes, and they don't have all these needs.
Yeah.
Fucking,
it's one guy, and he goes like, "Can you just make sure the mic works?"
Yeah. No. I mean,
and sometimes little inside comedy. Sometimes the fucking mic doesn't work.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Crazy.
Well, that only happens at like places you play. Dude.
I know.
Like,
yeah. You're doing real nice places, but there's still like pretty nice comedy clubs that I'm talking about, where sometimes you show up there and they're like, I mean, we played one place, I can't remember, and they're like, Eddie Griffin poured a drink on the soundboard last month.
Just saying something like that, I have like 3 follow-up questions. Like, how did the show do? Like, did he pay for it? Because he
did not pay for it. No.
One time
he's notorious. Honestly, we have been to so many comedy clubs, and they all have Eddie Griffin stories. He is apparently a bit of a nightmare.
But here's the thing. I mean, I'm super like now. I'm like thinking like, all right, who is he represented by? Is he just represented by himself?
Eddie Griffin? I doubt that. He's probably represented by some like big.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is like, you don't fucking just get to go around doing these asshole moves and not like. I doubt they settled the show by the time he was like, he was probably on, like, I assume. So, okay, how much did they pay Eddie? Okay, was it with a check? Okay,
I don't know, but I think it's accidental.
No, but it accidentally fucking spilled a drink on the console.
I guess. I don't know. That like nobody's saying he's like coming back there but it's just like I don't know. But there's a lot of people having these
great comedy show.
Yeah,
that sounds like a great comedy show. I mean, like I just went to go see that Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock at the Chase Center in San Francisco.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of shows I'll actually like pay for, but every time Dave Chappelle comes through.
Yep.
I've probably seen him like 8 or 9 times since like 2007.
Nice.
Yeah, like
he comes to the stand a lot in New York City where I do the bathhouse. He's there a lot. He's actually one guy. I feel like at some point I'll be able to get almost anybody except for him. Because he's like the one guy where if they know he's coming, they because it records in the green room, and then they just shut down the green room.
You would. Yeah, I think that would be like he's always the exception to the rule.
Yeah,
like
everybody else is kind of normal. But when he's not that he's not normal. Everybody says for all intents and purposes he's fairly nice, but he just. I mean, he travels with a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like there was. One time in about 2000.
Send me his number, actually.
Yeah, right. If I fucking had his number, I'd fucking try and get a job from him. Because it's like I got one of my homies into the show. Like there was an early show and a late show.
Was Black Star there? Or Most Def?
No. You know, wait.
Because Most Def was in the green room. Well, I think the 2nd or 3rd episode of the Bathhouse. Is we ended it a little early because Most Def showed up and he was hanging out in the green room at the stand. And
I mean, Most Def who else was there? Like they were like opening the show at the Chase Center.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so like they were playing.
Yeah, Black Star.
Yeah, but when he came to a venue I was working at when he was still technically missing, and I got one of my friends into it, and like Dave will be nothing but nice to you on stage, but like he rolls with a lot of homies and a lot of security guys that like will be off to the side telling you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if he's having a conversation,
he just gets bugged nonstop. He's probably 10 guys like you trying to get his fucking phone number.
Well, it's like I got my buddy in, and then like there was like a moment because it was the coolest thing because it was like, he was still technically missing. He wasn't like back on the like. It was like he was traveling the country with his sons in an RV, and would just be like, "Oh, where are we gonna be in fucking 2 days? Oh, fucking wherever the fuck. Like, let's find a club there. Hey, do you want to do Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
It'll be a 90-10 split.
Yeah, that's how he does it at the stand. Is he tells them like 2 days in advance. He'll be like, "Hey, I'm coming through," and then they post.
And nobody's gonna say no to that deal.
They literally post on their Instagram. They say the Smoking Goat is playing here in 2 days. Tickets are $200 a piece.
Totally, and people pay.
It sells out in a minute. It sells out in 1 minute.
I paid like $350 or $70 from the fucking company I work for just to fucking get
for one ticket.
No, for 2 tickets. I took my best friend.
Yes, there you go. So you could see him for a comparable amount of money in a club.
But I saw him in probably like 2011 or 2012 at Cops.
Okay.
And it was just like so I've seen him in a bunch of different, as the years go by, I get farther and farther from the stage. Like I had the opportunity, I could have worked that show, but like those sorts of shows you like don't really want to work because they're kind of more one-off. And I'm not saying that there was going to be a lot of demands, but those sorts of shows you get like a lot of like weird demands of just things to get and fucking procure.
the rider and whatnot.
So, and it's like I love Dave Chappelle so much that like I wouldn't want to put myself in a position where my night is going to be ruined, or I'm going to look back at like Dave Chappelle playing the Chase Center.
Right, you don't want a bad taste in your mouth.
No, so I'd rather pay for the experience.
Gotcha.
But yeah, big fan of that.
All right, Harmony Troll, I gotta let you go, but I appreciate you calling. Did you call in on the first episode of 2022? Did you call in on the very first episode?
Yeah, I mean, I called into like the.
Were you the very first caller?
For a little.
You were for sure one of the first callers ever on Low Value.
I mean, I was definitely in the first
3.
week.
I think you were in the first 3. No, I think you called on the first episode. I went and watched a little bit of the first episode. It was really a real train wreck.
Yeah, I mean, especially with all the tech issues, but you figured it out.
Figured it all out.
Congratulations.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Just congratulations. I hope this year has been profitable for you. I hope next year is more profitable.
It has not. I don't know if you followed the FTX saga.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yes, it has not been profitable.
I feel like I could talk to you. You know, it's so weird when you like listen to somebody talk for so much.
Yes,
you
right.
Like
that you know exactly. I have the same thing, but yes, not a profitable year.
I mean, we can get Steve and Sam Bankman-Fried and make them fight it out, and then the loser gets to leave.
No,
you know?
Yeah.
But all right. Well,
all right. Thanks, pal.
Happy 2023, and Matt St. Combe, you fucking wimp. I'm coming for you this year, bro. I'm fucking coming for you, bro.
Later, troll.
Later.
Happy New Year. The hard money troll, everybody. It's funny that he keeps going with the hard money thing. It doesn't even exist anymore. I think they got rid of it. Well, thing's done. All right, we have another caller. Hello.
Hi, hello.
Tony Scarboni. This time.
Hi, I got summoned.
You know what? This is actually why I got confused, because yours is an unknown number, and he calls on a no caller ID number. He's trying to hide this is unknown.
I wonder if that's so weird. I wonder if he has a different blocking system, or
I don't know what he does, but he's cagey.
What is this about West Coast accent?
It's like that laid back, like you guys are. I don't know. You sound like you're on the West. It's just the West Coast thing.
Don't like East Coasters have like a laid back like?
No, East Coast where? East Coast is different.
I'm thinking Maritimes popped in my head.
No, they sound like they're
the
East Coast Maritimes. They almost sound like they're like British or some version. West Coast is like what you sound like, and the hard money troll. You're all like very laid back, like you just
I can
got,
assure
like
you,
you just got off the snowboard.
Yeah, that's probably true, but I'm anxious each and every single day.
Yeah. So what's up, Tony Scarboni? How was your Christmas?
It was pretty good. I always like this time of year. I had a friend tell me that don't you miss being Christmas when you were younger? And I told him, if anything, I enjoy it now because of time off with family and friends. It's like the Trailer Park Boys, getting drunk and stoned with your family and friends and just spending good time with them and having time off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been good. Been kind of playing some Mario Kart. Shout out to all the Mario Karters out there.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
I guess I won't. I'm the one who's always asking about bad dating advice, but we're gonna change it up today.
Okay.
I want.
How's the dating? I remember that was the first time you ever called in was about dating advice. What's your dating situation going on?
I don't even want to get into it.
It's not going well, huh?
What's that?
It's not going well.
It's probably a shitty time of year for it anyway. I don't know if you ever heard of like winter coding, but there's like a trend this year where like people will go to their old relationships anyway. And
cuffing season, isn't that what it's called?
Thing because of the cost of dating. It's like the impression to set a new impression with someone new. You might as well go to the old thing and not have to spend as much or whatever.
Yeah, of course. I thought it was cuffing season, but anyways, yeah. So you're getting no luck for Tony Scarboni.
Dude, that's like, it's not even important. I mean, it is, but it's not.
You need to procreate.
What's that?
Nothing. I was just saying you need to procreate.
I had a question for you on Christmas, which I was going to call in and ask, but maybe out of theme now. But when you're two questions, vacation related. When you're on vacation and your scenario is a bit weird, you self-hating with that crappy podcast that everyone loves to hate to listen to.
The female dating strategy, yeah.
Yes.
Although from the caller at the beginning of the show, the voicemail, apparently I'm helping out young girls by
really?
Yeah. Because she was worried that young girls would come across the female dating strategy and then take their advice.
I think it's legit. Okay.
Yes.
You know what, Tate? Some things, like repeating what you said, they got some base takes that are like actually pretty valid.
Yeah, they do. But then they have so much nonsense where you're like,
yes.
I mean,
yes.
I guess someone probably has said it, but it's like, a broken clock is still right twice a day.
Twice a day.
Right.
And a fancy clock looks nice even if it's broken, which is like what a lot of hot girls can be. But when you're on vacation, like how do you nail it down? Like drinking during the day, or drinking like when the time is right. Like how do you, without like drinking during the day and getting owned from all the drug consumption or drinking alcohol? Like how do you
manage your day drinking? Is what you're asking?
Yes.
I mean I'm never been a crazy big day drinker, thankfully. But if I am to day drink, it has to be like split up with a nap. Like you got to sleep it off. Like the people who just like can wake up at noon and then just drink until 3 a.m. and then just like do it every day. I was even like when I was younger, I could not do that.
That sounds like someone who's on autopilot and with like who like they're probably hiding from something. That's a whole.
No, it's just some people handle it. It's just people have a different reaction to alcohol, I guess. But for me, I can't. Like if I am drinking all day, I need a nap. Like. For several hours.
We all need a nap sometimes.
Yeah, but
especially when you listen to fucking female dating strategy.
You got a vacation planned or not?
No, my second question was actually, okay, so I asked this on the Boys Cast, and I think you guys did address it, but I'm too much of a low-tier scrote to get through, so I never heard the answer.
Okay.
What is the vacation move for like I think Mexico because it's cheaper and it's quicker. But like, where's the best spot?
Dominican, Cuba's. Well, you're in the west coast of Canada, so I guess you'd want to go to like Cabo or something.
Isn't Cabo expensive?
But at least it's close. I don't know what it's like going from Western Canada, but I mean Dominican, Cuba is always good. I went to Cuba several times, which as a Canadian you can do that. An American is not quite as easy, but.
Didn't they change the rules so that Americans could now? Like,
I don't know I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, at least as for most of my life, Americans could not go to Cuba. Maybe they can.
Cuba
now.
Is Havana like affordable?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, you can do all inclusive. You can actually just go. I went to Cuba once with an ex, and we just stayed in Havana for a week. We didn't even do a resort, and it was pretty reasonable.
What about I heard that Cancun is like the party city, especially during. Not that I'm like looking for anything like that.
Sounds like you're looking to rage.
But how's Cancun?
I don't know if I've ever been to Cancun. Yeah, I think they're all similar though. Like, you know, you could find cheap places to go. You can find super expensive like resorts. It runs the gamut.
When my cabin friends, we were conversing in the summertime about wanting to go to Mexico in the winter. I remember just like kind of screaming at them all, like, it's not affordable right now. Like, everything's back opening up. It's just not the move to go this winter, because what it used to be an $1,000 Canadian trip is now at least $1,600 for like a 3-star. And then I'm like, ooh.
I don't know about. I haven't been following the cost of resort travel.
I actually have a buddy who.
But I will. My girlfriend wanted to go to Tulum, and we were looking, and you can get like pretty reasonable Airbnbs and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I heard that was pretty expensive too. But I had a friend who he was working on a pipeline here, and I got a skookum job, and then he got a good break. He went to Mexico in December, before the snowstorm, and he's doing the hostel life, and I know a lot of guys don't like that because it's like.
I mean, if you're a certain age, it's fine. It's just it gets tough. Like, it's generally you're super young. If you're an older guy in a hostel, people will think you're a fucking creep.
I found maybe it's because of the hostels I stayed at, but like I think if you're in a really good hostel, you can like maybe negate that, or like
if it's a really good hostel. But then at that point, how far is it away from just being a hotel?
Yeah, and then how much the cost too? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, go look in the chat because I see a lot of people are talking about this. There might be some good advice for you in the chat, but I do not have said advice for you, Tony Scarboni.
Hey man, that's what I got.
So that is proper bad advice, and then I don't have any good advice for you. Thanks, Tony.
Rock and roll.
Take it. Tony Scarboni, everybody. All right, we got time for a couple more calls. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me on the last Low Value Mail of 2022. Of course, if you want to join the after show, you can become a patron, patreon.com/lowvaluemail, and join the after show. It's a fun time. I don't know what we're going to talk about today. Hello?
Hey, Danny, am I on?
Yeah, you're on. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, cool. Right on. Okay, so I was listening earlier, and the guy who called a while ago, kind of asking about like Andrew Tate getting big and all this, and you know, how is it kind of set up? That kind of vibe, that kind of conversation.
Okay.
Well, you know, you guys kind of talked about, you know, he's got money and he's set up this like MLM thing.
Yeah. He was calling it a Ponzi scheme, but I think the correct term is MLM, multi-level marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a girlfriend who did that with like, products and stuff, and it's silly. I was just going to mention, you know, it's so easy to blow up and go viral. Number one, you either got to just be like,
you say it's so easy?
And then I think so. And
I've got a great example for you. I mean, as someone who tries every day to do this, I can tell you that it's very difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was, I've just kind of stumbled across a really crazy example of it.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Something. Yeah. So something happened it was like a couple of weeks ago at this point to the Game Awards. At the end of the Game Awards, there was a kid there who said something about Bill Clinton.
At the Game Awards. What Game Awards?
It's like a video game award show.
Okay.
So
I'm looking right now. Bill Clinton wins Game of the Year.
Well, Elden Ring won Game of the Year, but this kid, he basically, when they were giving the last award, he kind of snuck up on stage.
Yeah.
He just walked behind the guys who made
who
the
were
game.
Receiving the
And at the end of the thing, this kid goes up to the mic and he says the thing. You can probably see the quote. He has his voice like this, and he says, "I'd like to nominate Bill Clinton." It was a reformed rabbi or something, just like nonsense, right?
Yeah.
that kid on TikTok now has got like, you know, millions of views. And what's really funny is back in July, you know, sometimes I'll have TikTok on my phone, sometimes I won't. But back in July of this year, for a couple months, that kid was going into different like debate lives.
Okay.
Like debate. People have like political debates
on
It's mostly
TikTok.
political debates. Yeah.
Yeah, you know
exactly.
what? I was
And
on
this was
TikTok the other day, and I kind of stumbled into that where someone will post like a background with like, you know, certain ideas, and that's like the debate. Yeah.
That's exactly it. And you know, those lives will get like hundreds of views, thousands of views.
Yeah.
So this kid was actually going into all those different lives and putting on the same voice that he does now. And, you know, everybody, you know, this was back when the Roe versus Wade thing just happened and all this. So all these adults and people of different ages and people from all over the world having like these, you know, they think they're having really serious discussions about really serious shit. And they're like, you know, this kid would just go in there and he'd put on his voice like this. And he'd say that he was from a country called Shimon.
Okay.
That didn't exist. He would reference things and just didn't make it, like complete nonsense. He'd reference a guy called Peony Cohen, who's a top regulator for UN.
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense. He'd just go in there and these rooms, you know, full of like people who think they're having, deep discussions about politics and morals and all this. He'd just go in there and he'd just talk circles around him. And because he had kind of like this, it almost sounds like a pseudo kind of Spanish kind of accent. And maybe he's a guy in his 50s with low T. You know, you didn't really know. You couldn't really tell from the voice.
Okay.
They took him seriously. And he basically just cut everyone down in the room, made them all look so stupid because he just trolled them. And they had no clue that they were just being trolled.
Right. But you're saying he went viral from that? I mean, because to say that it's easy to go viral is like he had to go sneak into Game Awards and shit. That's high effort.
Well, he's gone viral now because he says.
You know what? We're gonna go do a deep dive on this guy on the Patreon on the after show because it seems like a good
Right.
starting point for the after show. Is we'll go down this rabbit hole, but I can tell you, going viral on the platforms.
Well,
is
listen.
not easy.
My whole point was you could just, if there's a big event, just be an asshole. Just inject yourself into the middle of it. Millions of people are seeing you.
Yeah.
At least a few thousand, 100,000 are going to go looking at you.
I will say though, there's not all virality is not created equally. Like, so I don't know if anybody saw this. Did you see the girl, the comedian from out west? This girl, she went viral on TikTok like maybe a month ago. She had this like 30-second, it's all pink background, and she has this like 30-second little clip, and she's really weird, and she's like this just weird girl comedian, and she went viral, but it was like pure hate. Like it was all hate. Like she had a personal TikTok account. A friend of mine told me about this. That was her personal TikTok account, which didn't have any stand-up comedy on it. It was just like some weird videos of hers. And I think she had like millions of views. Like she hit like millions and millions of views, and she had like 1,200 followers. So basically people were just like going on there shitting on her, like being like, this is the worst. And she actually recently was on a friend of mine's podcast, Dino Archie and Burrito Lopez. She goes and she talks about it a bit. The whole thing's kind of weird, but I mean, all virality is not created equally. I will say that.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I would never want to go viral for that reason. People would hate me.
Yeah.
You know, just the thought of like millions of people is like, oh man, that's like a lot of juju to be thrown at you.
Yeah. I mean, she said like she had to give her phone to somebody, and like, I mean, I've had people angry at you on the internet, like at scale. Yeah. And even if when I like this is still funny, you're like, this is just so much negative energy getting put your way, even if you do find it funny. Is what
I mean, like the whole meme about this kid I'm talking about, he's like he's like being put into kind of that category of like Andrew Tate and kind of like this kind of
he's in. Okay, you know
Patrick
what?
Bateman kind of thing.
Say no more. We're gonna look into him on the after show because I got to wrap this up anyways.
Okay.
Appreciate you calling in.
All right. Cheers, Danny.
Thank you very much. All right. That. Oh. You know what? We owe one more call. I was gonna wrap it up, but we got one more call. Paul Hadouken says, I was about to resub after you gifted me last month, but you gifted me again. Thanks. P.S. Can I gift subs? Yes, you can gift subs. Chad, what's up, man?
What's going on, Danny?
Nothing much. Merry Christmas. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Merry Christmas. Happy not New Year's yet.
Not New Year's, no. So what's up? Everybody go check out Chad's song, Light Switch, which I'll be playing shortly on the outro video. How's that been going? It's been out for a few days now, right?
That's been going good. You know, I gotta say that I'm quite surprised about, like, you know, because I could like see like sometimes where the streams are coming from and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a lot of love from the Down Under.
Australia. All right. Well, we have, I don't know if it's related to this show, but there's a lot of, I know we have a lot of people who watch this, in Australia who watch Boys Cast and Low Value Mail and all that stuff. So maybe it's related, or maybe it's just on a radio station there. Who knows?
Who knows, man? Shoot, but yeah, man, I'm definitely happy with it.
Cool.
Man, and I just want
we should get you on No Jumper.
Oh, you said what? Man?
We should get you on No Jumper.
No jump. Oh, I don't know about that. yeah, I don't know about that one, man. I'd rather just low value it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was just gonna say congratulations, man. Shoot, congratulations on a good year. Low value mail.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a fun ride. I appreciate everybody for joining along. Yeah, it'll be good. I think eventually, probably not next year, but maybe the year after that, we'll get into a proper studio, like its own space. I've been watching the Adam Friedland show, and I like how they have that like just big ass studio. Kind of funny.
Yeah, man, it's always nice to have your own space. You could, have your own background and, just be creative.
I mean, as much as I do love this green screen shitty basement or shitty, low value apartment living room kind of deal, we're gonna recreate it in an actual studio.
Man.
All right. Anything you want to say?
No, not really, man. Not nothing. Where I might call in on the after show.
Okay, we're gonna check out this kid with the Game Awards.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be there.
All right. Everybody, go check out Light Switch by Chad Turnup. Thanks for calling, Chad.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody for checking out the song. If you didn't already, please check it out. But yeah, I appreciate everybody though.
All right.
All right, Danny. All right, you too.
All right, everybody. That's been the show, the final show of 2022 of Low Value Mail. What a ride it has been. To think we started off earlier this year, all the things that have happened. It's been a fun one. I appreciate you all for joining me tonight, and those of you that join every week, or if you're listening to this now, again, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a review on iTunes or Spotify or whatever. You know the things to do. Just do a thing. Tell a friend. Tell one of your low-value friends that you found this low-value show for low-value people just like us. I will see everybody. We'll be back in the new year next week. Again, no bathhouse tomorrow night. You can watch old episodes. We're going to be starting the after show in about 10 minutes time. 11:15. We'll just say 11:15. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you all. You're all the best. Have a happy new year. If I don't catch any of you on the after show, have a good night. Bye-bye.
My shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurt. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5, got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenal. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, and they tried to down me on some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. Ha. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. light switch. Yeah. They was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Then they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. I'm pulling up fresh on some